I started seeing a therapist for severe depression. It started out alright, and I was feeling a lot better after a few sessions. After a few months, I felt a lot better. But I kept on seeing him because I didn't trust myself enough. In one of my sessions, he started asking me about religion and whether or not I believed in God. I told him that I did not believe in such a thing called God, an invisible man in the sky watching our every move. And that was when everything started going downhill. Ever since that session, I felt like my depression was coming back. I felt guilty about everything and I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. Even though he kept on telling me that it was alright not to have faith, that life could go on without believing in any kind of thing. But I couldn't shake the feeling like I was guilty of something that I didn't believe in. I started having nightmares. I couldn't remember them at first, but when I did, I was lonely in a place filled with nuns. They were all taunting me and telling me that I would go to hell. They kept on following me everywhere, and they would scream at me with Bibles in their hands. Slowly, my nightmares started finding their way into my reality. That's when I finally told my therapist about it. I told him about the shadowy figures who stood in the corner of my room. I told him about the nuns who kept on screaming at me, telling me that I would go to hell. And it was in that session when I fully lost my mind. He started telling me stories that no one could believe. He told me that the demons are looking for people without faith. He told me that they were shadowy people emerging from under the ground, claiming any soul who does not believe in anything. And in the middle of my session, I could totally see his face turning darker and darker, like he was turning into something else, like he wasn't the therapist that I met before. I got so scared that I ran out of his office, screaming. The same night, I was so afraid of my nightmares that I decided not to sleep. But to my misery, my nightmares have found their way into my reality. A nun was standing right in front of my bed with her face melting into mercury. She was screaming at me, "It's your time to pay for your sin."